Have you ever wondered if it's actually worth to upgrade your armor set? Armor sets like Crimson upgrade in a completely different way to other armor sets like Storm or Necron. Regular armor sets upgrade through recombobulators, simple enchantments, maybe dungeon stars or gemstones. Whereas Crimson Isle armor sets like Necron or maybe Aurora, Hollow or so on, take a combination of items that you'll have to grind yourself in order to upgrade. This is in the form of Heavy Pearls, Kudra Teeth and of course Crimson Essence. As for the Crimson Essence, you can head over to the Bazaar and simply just buy some Essence, it's really not too difficult. But of course the other two components to the upgrade are soulbound, meaning that you have to grind for these items yourself. To get the Heavy Pearls, you must complete the Matriarch's daily tasks. You can get more Heavy Pearls per day if you actually purchase Matriarch's perfumes, which you can purchase from the auction house or Elizabeth's shop. As for Kudra Teeth, you must complete Kudra, and then you must purchase the chest with a key. Higher tiers of Kudra grant more Kudra Teeth per run. Whereas you can max out a Necron set just through buying things and using coins. As you can obviously see, that's just not the same for armor sets like Kudra or Aurora. So this poses the question, if it's so grindy and I guess difficult to get all the materials to upgrade your Crimson Isle armor set, is it even worth upgrading it? Well, some factors can be controlled by coins without the grind. For instance, if you want a God Roll Aurora set, you can simply just go into the auction house and buy a God Roll Aurora set. It's as simple as that. You'll need to upgrade it yourself and you'll still need to grind, but you'll still have mana pool 10, mana regen 10, or just the base stats. Anyway, that exact question is a question that we're going to attempt to answer in today's video. But first, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS, it gets yourself 5% off. Also, make sure you do subscribe to the channel, it would help out a lot. And finally, you should join the Discord server, it's linked in the description. Now you can simply go onto the auction house and buy one of the most underrated sets in the game for less than 4 million coins. And for the sake of the video, that's exactly what we're going to do. I mean, we're going to put the basic upgrades on, things like Growth and Protection 5 and probably Ancient. Okay, so what we have here is we have a Livid Dagger because, well, I don't really play much on my regular profile at the moment, I'm focusing more on my Iron Man. So I've lent coins to people and now I'm a little bit broke. So yeah, the Livid Dagger is... no, it's one I've just bought. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, moving on. Don't make fun of me. We just have the regular Crimson set now. I've got Terror Boots because my actual upgraded set also has Terror Boots, so I want to make it fair. It's not ideal, but it should be very similar. Anyway, all we've got is Ancient and then Growth and Protection 5. That's it. Let's do a quick damage test with our Livid Dagger. Try not to hit in the back because we know what that's all about. We're going to deal about 268k damage, okay? I mean, it's not too bad. Now, of course, with any Crimson set, we can accumulate stacks, meaning that we can also benefit from the swipe ability, meaning that when we hit a mob, we can actually get a bit of a demonstration going. We all know how Crimson Armor works, but anyway, we do 270k. Then we also dealt like a swipe, which was 633k, which is honestly kind of cracked. Obviously, a back hit, we do way more damage. And of course, we test against higher health mobs, and we can see the stacks and the swipe kind of coming in. I mean, if this guy would just let us damage test. But I guess that kind of gives us a better idea of actually being able to kill these high health mobs much quicker. Honestly, not really bad for an armor set that costs 4 million coins. Okay, so now we have basically the same setup other than we switched our armor set. So this armor set, we've got the chestplate and the leggings are burning 10 starred, and then the boots and the helmet is a hot 10 starred. Okay, they've all got Growth and Protection 6. I don't really want to talk about. I mean, the ultimate enchantments are a little bit irrelevant. They've all got Dominance and Veteran 7 on 2. So this time, not only is the armor actually upgraded, we've actually sort of paid some attention to the attributes and invested some money into getting those better. Obviously, Veteran is going to give us more combat wisdom, and then Dominance is, I think it's when you're at full health, you deal more damage, which, yeah, gain 10.5% damage when at full health. Anyway, let's do a little bit of a damage test with this setup. So now we're going to do 342k, 351k, and this is just the regular one-hit damage. So what is this, like 100k extra damage or something like that? And of course, in this armor set, we still benefit from the stacks, although we just do more damage. So if we kill, we get 341k damage, and then how much did we swipe for? 861k. Okay, so the damage is substantially better. Although you've got to know that on this armor set, in terms of the attributes, I've probably spent close to 1 billion coins, although it isn't completely necessary to spend that many coins. And then obviously to get the heavy pearls and the Kudra teeth to upgrade this armor to this point, honestly getting it to half hot and burning 10 start isn't a massive burden considering I haven't really done that much Kudra. But it still takes considerably longer than just putting Growth and Protection 5 and Ancient on a regular Crimson set, that be said. Of course I would be doing way more damage if I actually had a proper weapon, but the fact that we're using a 3-star Livid Dagger with Spicy on it, I mean I could put Withered on it but it's pointless now. Probably isn't helping too much, but that's besides the point. You can still see the percentage change and that's the most important thing.
And yeah, same story against high health mobs. We can kind of just do a lot more damage. That's pretty much it. As long as we don't hit from the back and then we literally insta-kill them, but that's not really accurate. Now, a large proportion of the damage when you're actually using Crimson Armor comes from the swipe ability. Obviously you build your stacks up and then you essentially hit twice. That second hit sometimes is slightly more damage or sometimes slightly less damage than the initial hit, but most of the time it's essentially doing double damage or near enough. That swipe ability and those stacks that you build up are obviously the reason why just a regular Crimson set is pretty good, because you still benefit from that ability. Don't get me wrong, if you upgraded your Crimson to like, I don't know, God Roll, 10-10, and Infernal, it's going to be way better than the regular Crimson. However, for the price, it's that swipe ability that does it. For instance, if we switch to a Necron set, which is Legion 5, I'm using a Tarantula Helmet 2. It's Ancient again, it's Recommed. It's not a crazy Necron set, but it's probably the standard Necron set that you'd find. And our one-hit damage is better than the regular Crimson. But there's no swipe. You don't build up stacks. It's kind of crazy that straight up regular bottom of the range Crimson armor realistically in terms of DPS is substantially worse than Necron armor. A Necron set that's probably going to set you back close to 100 million coins. Obviously the Crimson is no good for dungeons. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Just kind of sort of brings me to the initial question of the video, and that is there any point in upgrading your Crimson armor? I don't know, it's a difficult question. And obviously it depends like how far you're going to upgrade it to. Like I said, this is somewhere like middle of the range sort of armor set. It's not massively upgraded, but it's also not stock. However, outside of dungeons, this armor set is ridiculously better than this Necron set. Obviously it deals way more damage, and for instance in this upgraded Crimson set I'm getting almost 4k health, and in terms of defense I'm getting around about 900. And in the Necron set I'm getting about 3.5k health and almost 1000 defense. So just from that alone, in terms of survivability, the Crimson also takes it. Now there's going to be little things like, for instance, the gemstone slots aren't unlocked on this Crimson armor, and the enchantments aren't comparable to this Crimson armor, but that's the whole point, because this is just like a stock set. But to answer the question, and the question being, should you upgrade your Crimson armor? I guess that's kind of dependent on where you're up to in the game, what you plan on doing with the armor itself, and so on. For example, upgrading your Crimson armor, especially putting things like Veteran on there, is going to help out massively for things like Slayers. If you want to get combat XP, it's going to help out if you're grinding things like Ghosts. Upgrading the tiers, putting stars in it, upgrading from regular to hot, hot to burning, and so on is going to obviously make you deal more damage, make the armor set stronger in general. And as you could see from the stock set to the half hot and half burning set, there was a difference of damage of about 100,000, which when you actually think about it in percentage terms is about 30% more damage, which is honestly really good. Now of course I had dominance on the better armor set too, and that obviously played a big part. What I would say is just don't make yourself go broke spending on attributes if you've got basically more priorities in the game. Of course, if you can't really do Kudra, then it's kind of out of the question. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Is there like a sort of a limit as to how far you should upgrade your Crimson? Obviously, I haven't really had time to test out Fiery or Infernal, so I don't really know how much better that is than Burning, and my set is even really full Burning. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.